What's good, YouTube? And welcome to your Yu-Gi-Oh! Guide for the most American of holidays, Black Friday. Once we've had our fill of delicious food and we spent time with family saying what we're thankful for, it's time to go buy some new stuff. Jokes aside, we have a lot to cover in terms of sales and then tons of meta changes on the market that have happened right before Black Friday, so let's go ahead and cover both. Gamer's Choice will be doing their biggest sale yet, they're saying. 15% off in person and online, so hopefully they have some really cool stuff in store if you live in the area, but for most of y'all, you'll be purchasing online if you do. I'll be covering what they have in stock. I've seen some pictures of very pretty piles of cardboard, and you don't have to stack my code or anything. They'll be hooking me up for shouting out the sale, but as always, I'll put you first and talk about what I think is worth it versus not, just like I do with tier 0 sales, etc. Now, with TCGplayer also talking about putting myself in hot water, Cyber Weekend is almost here, starting November 29th at 9 a.m. Eastern. Get 10% store credit on all products. TCG subscribers will earn even more, getting 13% plus on all products. If you're from TCGplayer, please close your ears real quick. You can subscribe and then unsubscribe if it's worth it to you. The subscription is like if you're spending something like $700 plus a month, it's worth it to you usually, and then you have to like level up the subscription. So if it's worth it to you for one day to subscribe and get that extra percentage on your cart and deal, do so. And then you can unsubscribe. And if you want to cost TCGplayer even more money, please use my TCGplayer link in the description down below, costing you nothing extra to support the channel directly for the cards you'd already be buying, because that will stack on top. A lot of people will be looking at Bonanza for the TCGplayer sale, which is why a lot of things already ended up spiking because people wanted to get ahead. I would look elsewhere for things maybe people forgot about a bit. Rarity 2 cards that people will reach out for when Bonanza 2 comes out, which was announced today. And also the retro pack, Harpy and Amazoness, fell like under the price of the pack. This still only comes retail, so there's not shops like getting it under MSRP and clearancing them or anything. And they've restocked a lot of times, is why all the singles have fallen down. But the listings aren't that deep. None of them are like triple digits here at the top, and there's still the old school card layout, and people are still really excited to pull them. Like I see Reddit posts still of, oh, look at this beautiful card. So you can get that on the super cheap while everybody's looking away at other sets. That's actually what I plan to go ahead and get a little bit of Black Friday for my personal collection, because I've been wanting the playset of the Cyber Harpy lady for some time. Now, tier 0 usually has a sale, so they'll be worth checking in with. I haven't heard from my contact over there yet, but I have heard from them that they will be relisting this hopefully sometime today. I've heard for the first time in forever the term allocation associated with crossover breakers in the EU. Apparently they're not getting their full allotment, which is why they went super low on the sales yesterday, and they plan to do their rest of their stock today. So do be aware, they should be coming back in stock hopefully today, as well as likely all that they have, because they don't have the most crossover breakers in the world, and I think a lot of people in the EU are not going to be able to get what they want with this set if they're going for it sealed, and that might mean sealed prices over there are going up too. Troll and Toad is usually worth checking in with. They do unique sales, and it's one of my favorite strategies to end up actually selling to them on the web credit bonus and looking for cards that I'd make more than TCGplayer on that, and then dumping it back into Black Friday. I've bought some of my own stuff. I used to sell them when I was a vendor, and I've looked through their sales each year, and people complain and go, oh, it's all expensive. Oh, it's this, that. Like, I look through and there's deals to be had, and I've even pointed them out before when it comes to some of their sales. So I will be looking at their sales, and I usually find some gems in the rough there. Core TCG, it's kind of a coin flip. This isn't sponsored at all. They don't work with the channel, but every Black Friday I like to check in with them. Some years I found stuff to check out in my cart, like super cheap $1.50 Ultra Pros at one point, and then also Yu-Gi-Oh products sometimes come down in price to where it's actually just a steal, and other years I found absolutely nothing. So worth checking in, and we will on Black Friday. Ophidian is doing 25% off. I believe the calculator cases are excluded since they're pre-order, but all match should be, and my code doesn't stack. This isn't sponsored for this shout out, but I actually really look forward to seeing how these calculator cases turn out, which unfortunately aren't on the sale, but all the iconic playmats that they have should be. So let's go ahead and talk about Quarter Century Stampede. They have announced the final sets for Quarter Century Secret Rare. It's going to be over, and here is the 4th iteration. They're going to go with the exact same model as Bonanza with the 200 card nostalgia pool, guaranteed luxury secret rare, and then they say etc. So we are assuming that they will also be pulling in cards that already have Quarter Century Secret Rare in the main pool and then not giving them QCR, leading a lot of people to get shaky on the Mulch armies right now. They're going, wait, they say meta cards. Like, is it just going to be the Bystials and Kashtiras that they missed? 80 tournament level cards? Or are they going to go with something newer to really make this another home run like Bonanza? Or are they going to rely on the nostalgia pool? These are all speculation. You are guessing when it comes to Konami. But spring reprint sets tend to do something a little bit early right now, and a lot of people are pointing this direction in their surmising and assuming. But again, you are gambling either way you take, because they could or they could not. Now, also, I was looking at Magia, and it's down towards 800, and a lot of people are begging for it to end up being in here. That'll be an interesting one to look forward to and watch as well if it happens without its QCR but ends up in the main pool. That would be pretty neat. I do think that, again, most expensive per card, the last one did surprisingly well. I was on that early, but a lot of people pushed back saying it was a terrible set, and now a lot of people have changed their tune. Weird. It's like I've been around the block. But then again, I get it wrong like I did with Rarity 2. 2 out of 3 with the OCG model ain't bad. Dominus Purge is spiking real hard as we head towards that next metagame. The QCR is up towards 100, 90, 95, and then it's 110. And the regular, you just want access to this version of the card, is around $30 now. Yeah, these powerful hand traps are just so freaking good. And for the restrictions that they have, they can still end up working with a lot of different decks. Lacrima, I did say that QCR felt oh so cheap, but it continued to go down for a bit. It has spiked into the stratosphere and is 108 to 110. Let's see where the sales actually are. Yeah, people spent triple digits at 100 for the waifu bait. And the regular version has gone up towards $13 with a lot of people grabbing it. And then also Fiendsmith Track, this is from the YCS, a lot of people showing up and out. It also is going up, especially for different versions, but the QCR, interestingly, mostly had been falling out till now, and now those copies are going again. So we're kind of in that bump in the graph, right? But here you can see the you just want access to this version of the card is at $10 for the secret rare. Melodious getting a little bit of attention. Now, I know that many duelists of name, like Herman Hansen, who I regret to inform is quitting Yu-Gi-Oh! For now. He did already post about that on Twitter. He's one of my favorite to watch, so sad to see another pro leave the scene. But he had been talking about this deck for some time, and you can see it's rising towards $3 here out of Legacy of Destruction. Dual Terminal Card Trooper getting a buyout after the QCR came out. Bold move. Let's see if it pays off. Usually after these buyouts, we see a really low amount of sales, but this card had been up there for some time. So it'll be interesting to see where its movement actually goes. Book of Eclipse Quarter Century Secret Rare is on buyout mode. People are saying, yeah, just spend 500 on that Ryzeal core to get Book of Eclipse. The good old Necros days. Yeah, but you gotta draw it. That's the problem, isn't it? Out the gen, you gotta draw the Book of Eclipse, that kind of stuff. But here it is going up in price for the Quarter Century Secret Rare out of Rarity 2. And again, somebody actually brought up this point in the Discord. With this, do I think it will affect other QCR prices, especially with it being the end? We're gonna have a nice little storm of a situation. We're gonna enter the WCQ season, where a lot of buyouts already happen on meta cards. We're going to have the release of the set, which will cause people to reach back and grab other pieces they were waiting on for their collection after Black Friday is already going to cause a lot of buyouts here. So when we're looking at like January, February, people starting to prepare for the set, it comes in the swing of the WCQ season at April. I do think there will be a lot of buyouts caused by this, like we're already seeing with Rarity 2, but I think the metagame and speculation will be the main kind of supporter of moving cards, and then FOMO rushing and people going after other pieces will be the second part of that. But a lot of money is going to pump into this set itself, just like Bonanza, most likely depending on the picks. Chaos Hunter, another QCR, continues to go up as an option. We brought this up, I think, when it was around $8, and now it is towards $15. Code of Soul is being played in some Malice decks, and it is absolutely spiking a large amount. It is around $4.50 and quickly $5. Comes out of Legacy of Destruction as a super rare. Then you have Firewall Dragon Dark Fluid continuing to stonk and go up as Malice is almost here, and you can see that it is now like $6 even out of the 25th anniversary tins, and that's likely due to not a lot of people wanting to open these tins and it continuing to get bought like crazy. And then again, we were bringing up the Mulch Armies is why I have this tab up. Didn't mean to have it up twice. Thanks for watching today's Market Watch. We'll be covering the Black Friday sales on Black Friday and any other changes happening from the actual percentage on TCGplayer and crazy buys that are happening. And if you have any suggestions on where to shop for Black Friday, leave them down below. I know a lot of people like to keep it close to the chest and not talk about it as much, but I do think there's plenty of deals to be had if you're in the trenches hunting. And for people that kind of are, I'll go over here and wander mosey over there, you know, it's people who line up that usually get those first deals and they out of stock, especially on unique ones.